Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your man DISCO100, man. And I had every now and then I got to bring a show back, man. And I sat in this show last night by James Kirkland, Intellectual Stew, and the topic that he came up with last night was dealing with disappointment. And I was unable to be involved out of respect for his show, but I had to bring him back because I got some things I want to say. But I want to get down to the feelings and the reason why you came up with that particular subject, and how do you really feel about dealing with disappointments?
Man, this honestly, bro. I mean, I've been a product of my own mistakes so many times. You know what I'm saying? And I'm the type person. We talked about it last night. That I crucify myself. You know what I'm saying? And I don't forgive myself quick enough. And it's so easy to disappoint. It's so easy to disappoint yourself. You know what I'm saying? And so doing that so many times, I had to really learn how to deal with that disappointment, because I think for a long time it kind of put me in a position. Am I not talking to you? Okay. Yeah, for a long time it put me in a position where I kind of, what I would call myself, I kind of put myself in mental mind cuffs, because I wouldn't forgive myself.
Mm-hmm.
I would continue to put myself in a mental prison over and over again. If something went wrong, I would take all the responsibility. I didn't share that responsibility, even if people did things to me. You know what I'm saying? Especially in marriage and things of that sort. And so being disappointed, I think disappointment probably led to a mild form of depression. You know what I'm saying? And then depression might have led to another type of dependency, as far as trying to pick up other habits that I probably shouldn't have had, you know what I'm saying, to cope with the depression, you know what I'm saying? And so it came to a point where I really had to learn how, if I was going to move forward, I had to learn how to deal with my disappointment.
So your disappointment ain't just based on others disappointing you; it's on yourself.
Well, it's a little bit of both.
Okay.
But I think one thing, I thank God for for having a father raise me.
Okay.
Because one thing about a father is a father teaches you how to manage and control your environment. You know what I'm saying? So I've learned that it's not so much that external entities can affect me to disappoint me, because I'm not really concerned about what you do. My problem is when I disappoint myself. And that was one of the valid points that we had last night. And you had left by that time, but Trey really jumped on that one, and it was a good one. But it talked about when you're a way to avoid disappointment is not to attach yourself to your goal, but you stay attached to your desire. Because if you stay attached to the goal, if you attach to the goal as opposed to the desire, if you don't meet the goal, then you're gonna constantly be disappointed. And a lot of times we don't achieve our goal, but that doesn't negate the fact that the goal is still relevant. You understand what I'm saying? The good thing is, like, for instance, you started this nonprofit, right? And you got several goals as it relates to your nonprofit. But if you don't reach the goal, thankfully you have the desire. And your desire is fueled by your passion, right? Because, like, your passion causes you to go coach those little boys. Your passion causes you to raise money to do this and that. Your passion causes you to go and show up for the brother that opened up the coffee stand that ain't nobody else going to visit. Your passion causes you to show up for the rallies to make sure the police are doing what they want to do, right? And so with that desire, even if you don't do it, at least the desire will get you up out of bed in the morning. You see what I'm saying? Because not achieving the goal will make you stay in the bed, will keep you with your head, with covers pulled over your head, that'll make you hit the snooze on the alarm clock, all those types of things. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you got to attach yourself to your desire as opposed to the goal.
So speaking on me,
Okay.
my biggest crutch is when it comes to dealing with this disappointment is, first of all, I wear my heart on my sleeve.
You do. Learned that about this month and a half, and that's a good thing.
I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I expect too many people around me to be like me.
Okay.
Meaning, I expect too many brothers' word to mean something.
Okay.
I expect too many brothers that say they're gonna pull up on you at a certain time to mean that. I expect too many people to know how to say the word thank you and I appreciate you. So my disappointments is just based on the fact on how I was raised and how I feel everybody else should be living the same life. And I stopped beating myself up because of the lack of them.
Yeah. And you said something very key and critical in everything that you just said. Everything that you said were personal pronouns. You said, I do this, I do that, based on the way I was raised. But that's not necessarily how they were raised. And see, what helped me, honestly, Disco, and these last 4 years have been challenging. You know it. Like I said, that's when me and my wife got separated. So I really had to spend a lot of time with that, talking to that man in the mirror. You know what I'm saying? So, but one thing that I really learned that helped me, and maybe this will help you, is that you gotta almost give people a margin for error. You understand what I'm saying? Because everybody ain't. And Trey and I talked about that last night. Trey said, I'm a leader. And as a leader, I delegate responsibilities. So if I delegate, because that's what you're doing with your nonprofit now. You can't do everything by yourself. You ain't got but 2 hands, 10 fingers. So if you do everything by yourself, then it's going to be limited, right? So as a leader, as you start to delegate responsibilities, now suppose you give somebody a deadline on the 21st, right? And they have this deadline on the 21st. Well, you got to be checking on them on the 19th and the 20th, right? Because you want to make sure that you don't get to the 21st. You got to give yourself time or a cushion to make sure it gets finished. And that's okay. But what you're doing is you're loving. Craig Oliver uses this with his slogan, with his church, or with his mission statement. He said they lovingly lead people. And so as a leader, you lovingly lead people where you want them to be. You nudge them a little bit and hope they get it. But if they don't, you put precursors in place to make sure it gets done.
And that's, like I said, that's where the big crutch comes in with my personal life. Like, people know me, know that I'm a very impatient person. Okay, we all know that. They know I can be sometimes worse. We know that. But it's always for the good. So basically is, if I put you in place to do something, and I say I need it done by the 21st, I gotta figure out in my mind I gotta get myself in a situation that how am I gonna react when it's not done on the 21st?
I'll tell you what it is.
That's my biggest issue.
Set low expectations. There's an old saying. I love to hear this saying. I love to hear.
Set low expectations.
Yeah.
So bring somebody aboard.
Give them a chance.
Okay, bring somebody aboard. We're gonna disagree on this one.
Okay.
Bring some, which was not.
We'll agree in a minute though.
Yeah, correct. Well,
Okay.
we might. But you saying bring somebody aboard and don't expect them to do the job.
No, don't be upset if they don't do it.
So why bring them aboard?
Because they might do it.
And then they might not.
And if they don't, then you don't use them again.
Okay.
But if they do it, now you know you got a soldier. But, and then the other thing is, this is another thing. This is another thing. And this is another one right here. And this might not be your story. This is not, listen what I'm saying. And this is going to be a valid point right here, but I'm going to tell you. This might not be your story. One thing about it is compensation denotes obligation. And most times we ask Negroes to do something for free. And then get mad when they don't do it.
We can't though.
You know what I'm saying? My point.
Now I get that part.
Yeah.
I get that
so
part.
if I pay you to do something, then I can set some expectations.
Yeah.
But if we're doing it on loyalty, you feel what I'm saying? I gotta be prepared that they might not do it.
But on the flip side, don't call me. This is another disappointment. Don't call me.
Sound kind of personal right now.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It's gonna be personal. Don't call me to volunteer your services on your own, but don't do it.
I get it.
And then get mad at me because you telling me on Tuesday, on Wednesday, Disco, I got you 12 o'clock.
Okay, but then let me ask you a question. But when they don't do it, then what?
That's when I take over.
Okay, but you got blood pressure you got to be concerned about?
No, my blood
You're
pressure
kind of
good.
young to have all that gray hair in your head.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is stress is a silent killer.
Yeah.
So if they don't do it, it's still not done.
Okay, that's my problem with disappointment. Let's
Okay.
stay with disappointment. As grown men,
Okay.
where do we lose the fact that your word don't mean nothing no more?
Man, what? Because most of us aren't raised by grown men no more.
Okay,
Most of us aren't raised by. I heard a girl put that on Facebook today. She put this topic on why men so soft. And the first thing I said was mass incarceration. Then the second thing is welfare.
Soft meaning what?
That was her saying that they were soft, too emotional, and all that kind of stuff.
Well, again, I'm emotional. Hell, I cry on movies. I cry on special
but
occasions.
you know when to be. You know how to turn it on and off though.
I do, but sometimes like
a lot of these cats don't have no control of. And that's the biggest thing for me. Even with you getting upset about somebody not doing what you want to do and they disappoint you. I mean, it's your response to the disappointment. You know what I'm saying? Because how much time are you going to waste being upset? Because it still got to get done.
And that's my problem. And people know that's what I'm working on. I can say it as a grown man.
Man, I started a church back in 2004.
You started a church?
In 2004, I started a church. And I didn't want to. They called me and asked me if I would move to that area, start a church, yada yada, because they had heard me preach and all this kind of thing. So I said, so I had a meeting with them, and I gave them all responsibility. I said, I said, I need y'all to give this amount of money. We're going to use this amount. We're going to get a radio broadcast. We need to find somewhere to meet. All these. So I gave everybody responsibilities, right? But when I told them all what to do, I had already started doing everything I asked them to do, just in case they didn't do it. I had already called the radio station to see how much it was going to be. I had already called the community center and see how much it was going to be. I had done all those things.
So you knew what you get yourself into.
Yeah, and I knew at that point that I wasn't going to tell them. So no, I didn't know for sure. But if I go bungee jumping, when I jump off the cliff, I ain't jumping if it ain't no trampoline at the bottom.
No, I ain't jumping if it ain't tied up right.
But
if I ain't the one to tie
but it's got to be a condition.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So if I'm going to ask somebody to do something, I'm going to put a trampoline in place.
I agree. I agree with you.
Yeah.
The dealing with disappointment is my biggest thing, because it's like a lot of times it's voluntary that somebody open their mouth to say they're going to do for me.
Yeah.
That's the, like, you wasted my time to call me or text me or tell me you got me to not get me.
Yeah.
So what'd you do it for?
Man,
that's my thing.
I can't control that though.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Why am I gonna let my stress level go?
Yeah, you're right. What you said is
over
right.
something that I can't control.
You're right. That's what I gotta get.
And then this is what happened. I remember when I did that, when that same church thing, and I had set everything up, and one particular person didn't do what I asked him to do, and that was cool. I didn't even go back to him and say, "Hey, you didn't do it. I didn't do none of that kind of stuff."
I'm getting up.
I had already done it. And so then when she found that I did it, she had the nerve to call me, "Well, why you asked me to do something and then you didn't let me do it?"
Yeah.
I asked you to do it a week ago.
I'm getting that because
it's 7 days later.
Correct. I'm getting that because I had personal obligations, or we made a deal. I made a deal with a lot of people. You give me this, I give you that. And I got a lot of people that didn't do their part. And the old me will go off phone call or see them face to face. But now I just let it go, and I see them on social media still living life like nothing even happened. Still broadcasting stuff they doing when I know that they still got the products for me. But I let it ride out because it's not worth the friendship. And it's showing me that's who you are.
Exactly.
So I got to give you that and just know not to put myself in position like that again.
And that's how you deal with disappointment.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. So I'm learning how to deal with it because the expectation I have for everybody, and I'm not perfect.
No.
But if I forget to do something, it's genuinely because I got 1,000 things going. I'm not one to let's say for instance I get in a bind. I got partners of mine, let me borrow something. I'm not one not to communicate like I ain't got it yet or something went down, whatever it may be. I'm one to communicate.
Yeah.
That's me. And that's all I ask for people. If you're not gonna do it, just say it ain't gonna be done. Say something happened. Just don't act like my memory getting bad as I get older. I'm dealing with a certain condition, but don't act like I forgot everything you said telling me.
I got you.
That's my thing.
And then this is how you're talking about dealing with disappointment. This is how you deal with that. You say, cause let me tell you something. People, they're not gonna really know how to treat you until you kind of teach them how to treat you, right? And so when they get wrong, it's your responsibility in the right way to get them back right. And because when the lady called me and said, "Hey, you're not letting us do what you asked us to do," I said, "Sweetheart, I asked you to do this 7 days ago.
Wow.
Why did you wait 5 or 6 days to do what I asked you to do?" Because honestly, you know what? This has always been my philosophy, even in the car business, because I sold cars for several years. My philosophy was always
that go hand in hand, a preacher and a car salesman.
Yeah, I was good at it though. But this is the thing right here. My process was the way to move on to new business is to make new business old business as quick as possible. So if I give you a responsibility, me personally, I'm going to make that phone call, knock it on out, get it out the way, and it's done. Now, that's how I am in business. Now, schoolwork, I wasn't like that. Schoolwork, I crammed and waited till the last second, you know what I'm saying, and got it done. I worked best with my back against the wall. But in business, I want to make new business, old business, as quick as possible. So if I'm asking somebody to do, that's where I'm going to eliminate myself from being disappointed. When I ask them to do those things, sometimes I don't ask them to do it because I can't do it. I ask them to do it to see if they will do it. There's a biblical account when Abraham took his son Isaac up on the mountain to kill him, right? Because God told him to do it. Let me just say this right quick. God told him to take his son up on the mountain to kill him, right? Say, and so Abraham took him up on the mountain, put him on the altar, drew back the knife, and as soon as he drew back the knife, God spoke and said, "I didn't really want you to do it. I just wanted to see if you would." If you turn around, what you're looking for is right behind you. There's a ram in the bush already over there. So go get your ram. So sometimes you put people in positions.
So basically, in my terminology, just give them the rope to hang themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. And that's it. And if they do it, because the journey that you're on, especially the nonprofit journey, it's not for the faint of heart, because you're not going to be able to pay everybody.
Yeah.
You know, people going to have to, passion is going to have to be their fuel, right? And if they're not passionate about it, you really don't need them on your team anyway. So if they, the old saying, if people show you who they are, believe them.
Listen, okay, my disappointment a little different though.
Okay.
It wasn't so much the fact of people not doing what they said they're gonna do, even though I touched it. It was a disappointment of just people walking life around me.
People what?
People's walks of life around me. It's like knowing the real them and what they portraying is what the disappointment is. And it's not for me to judge nobody. It's not for me to put them on a pedestal when they don't deserve it. But that's my disappointment as far as like they say, a crab. If you see a crab, it's a crab. If you see a coward, he a coward. That's what you see. So I'm basically like, the last 10 years of my life, I'm kind of like to the mindset is, if you show me your hand, now it's on me to deal with you or not.
Yeah.
And I always give people the benefit of the doubt, but it seems like I gotta go with I gotta go with it. If I see your hand, I gotta know that's what you're gonna give me.
I mean, if you look at it, number one, you're a man and you're in control of your situation. So, forgive me for using this terminology, but it's almost like you're giving mental interviews for who's gonna be around you. You remember, not this episode, but the episode last time when Trey was on there, Trey said something. He said, you're the average of the top 5 people you hang around. Let that sink in.
Yeah.
You're the average of the top 5 people that you hang around. So if you got people that are leeches, people that are pulling you down, that's gonna weigh on you.
I ain't got that.
Okay, but whatever. But if they're not aligned properly,
it's people I'm associating myself with when it comes to business.
Okay, but then there might be some more. It's another crowd out there.
That's my problem.
Yeah, but it's gonna be a crowd that comes in your life that's not gonna bring that burden, and that's not gonna disappoint you. Though.
Matter of fact, true story. Not to put the race card out there, I'm not gonna throw it out there. But a certain individual group, I'm used to giving a certain number when it comes to doing DJs, weddings, and whatever it may be. And a certain culture approached me a couple years ago. And I'm so used to giving this number because that's what I'm accustomed to of dealing with. Right? I gave this individual that number and they were like, hold up. I can't do that. Ain't no way in the world I'm gonna pay that little bit of money for your services. And that was my first wake up call, like, wow. Yeah. I really been cheating myself on dealing with certain types of individuals.
Well, you cheat, but
not only cheating myself, cheating my family.
But let's rewind what I just said.
Rewind it.
Okay, you're the average of the top 5 people you hang around. So if you hang around people that don't value themselves, who cheapen their services, me personally, I ain't going to work for less than a certain number of dollars a day. You hear the kind of numbers I tell you I go to work for. And if not, I sit at home all month long. Because my time ain't worth no $14, $15 an hour, not even $20 an hour. You understand my point? So as you start to recognize your value, you're a gifted cat. You have a unique way of being able to connect with people. You have a strong passion. And then this is the other thing you do. Service is the rent that you pay to humanity. You serve, bro. You out there with those little boys. You out there, you have your unorthodox way of doing it. Sometimes you're a little tough love, all that kind of stuff. It ain't nothing wrong with that because that's your brand. That's who you are. You understand what I'm saying? But when you do those things, you put a value on it. And you say, you can't have me for anything less than that. And if you can't, say, I'm comfortable sitting at the house because I like home.
Yeah.
I got a TV at home. I got Crunch and Munch at home. I just bought me a watermelon, Crunch and Munch. I eat it. That popcorn was caramel popcorn. Dude, I got Walmart. Look, I got watermelon. I got grapes. I got
so
a
watermelon and Crunch and Munch.
Yeah, no, not the same time.
Okay.
You know, but my point is that I'm comfortable enough to sit at home where if it's not worth my time, I ain't going out.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
You're not wasting your product. You're not
wasting it. And you can't cheapen me like that.
Well, like I said, with disappointment, I'm glad. Like I said, last night when you brought it up, I wanted to sleep, but I wasn't feeling well.
Oh, you were shook last night. When I said the topic, you like, woo.
Yeah, because again, I got a good partner. Well, I call him my uncle, Uncle B. And he always told me, like I say, man, I can't stand when I open the door for a beautiful sister and just can't get the word thank you. And he's like, you know what? You gotta stop. You gotta understand that whatever she dealing with ain't got nothing to do
Absolutely
with you.
nothing.
She don't even know you.
But watch this. But there's a way to teach them without offending them.
Yeah, trip their ass while they walk through.
Now that's one way, but let me tell you. Can I tell you another way?
I'm joking. I'm joking.
But like last week, I was somewhere and I was with this, and it was a little 22-year-old chick there, right? And I didn't know how old she was.
22-year-old.
Yeah, and she was younger than my kids, so nowhere in the world. But we having a conversation.
Okay.
We having a conversation, and then all of a sudden she called me nigga, Nigga.
Wow.
I said, who?
And this was a
22-year-old.
It don't matter. Okay, go.
Yeah. She said, nigga. I said, I'm not your nigga. She said, well, what's wrong with that? I said, what's right with it? She said, well, everybody else said, I said, I'm gonna help you out right quick. I said, the world has devalued black men so much. You probably not had one in your life, and you don't respect them, that you think enough of me to call me nigga. I said, sweetheart, I'm 49 years old. I'm 27 years older than you. I have a child older than you. And I said, and I've not called you anything but your name. Now, I might have used a term of endearment called sweetheart, and if I'm wrong for that, I apologize. But I never called you anything other than like
what
nigga.
made her say that like that though?
She was just in normal conversation. She wasn't upset or nothing like
so
that.
like my nigga this,
Yeah.
like, okay.
And I said, but my name is James.
Yeah.
And then when I told her about the devaluation of black men and how we've been decent, all those things, she said, you know what? I never thought about it like that. Because the truth, like you've heard me throw this statistic around a lot. The mass incarceration, it took in a 20-year period, they went from 300,000 300,000 prisoners to over 2 million. If you do the numbers statistically, 40% of that is black men. So if that's 40% of 2 million, that's 800,000 men, right? Mm-hmm. Where they come from? The hood? Who were they? Daddies? Uncles? Grandfathers? Strong male? You know somebody been in prison probably since she was in high school and not longer than, not much after that. I got some people I went to school with that have been in prison all their lives. You know what I'm saying?
I got family members that been, I know how to, it's sad, but
it takes them out of society. It takes a father away from a daughter. It takes a father away from a son. It takes a father from a husband, from a wife.
So speaking of disappointment, are you, speaking on what you're talking about, are you disappointed on how the OGs nowadays are connecting with the young folks? Or do you not blame them?
I don't think that the OGs really connect with the young people no more.
But I'm going to tell you why I think it is so.
Okay.
Like, I got a couple call me Unc, or they call me OG, and we talk friendly. But see, them young folks, I think they not receptive as far as hearing somebody else talk to them.
Well, it's depending, and it's how you talk to them, though.
Yeah.
That has a lot to do
So I
with
think it discouraged a lot of OGs, a lot of cats who've been there, done that, because and
that was my point.
The first thing we thinking is, man, he might have damn 2-3 pistols on him.
And we're also thinking they ain't gonna listen no way.
Yeah.
That's the thinking, they ain't gonna listen no way. Now, okay, can I give you another example?
Go ahead.
One time we were at Stonecrest Mall, and it was when I was married. My children were a lot younger. We walking through the mall, and I hear there's about 4 or 5 little boys over there. They dreaded out. They got on there, they dressed sagging pants. And I walked by, and one of them said, he cussed loud as I don't know what. And I got my 3 kids with me and my ex-wife, So first of all, you don't cuss in front of my wife. Number 2, you don't cuss in front of my kids. So I said, oh. Then they look, all of them looked at me like, whoa, what is he doing? I said, hey, come here, let me holler at you. And I just started walking. I'm a man. He's a boy. I'm leader. I'm already automatically a leader. So I took an assumptive role in his life. Hey, let me talk to you. How old are you? 15. And you cuss like that? Do your mom and daddy know you cuss like that? No, sir. Sir. I said, bro, let me tell you something, man.
Yeah.
I said, bro, you cuss like that in front of my kids, you're going to get them a dental plan. So why in the world you cuss? Because they're going to think it's all right for them to cuss. But don't cuss in front of my kids like that again. And he said, I'm sorry. Real just as humble as he can be. Did the same thing in Food Depot one day. I'm in Food Depot, little girl cussing like a sailor. I said, come here, how old are you? 14. And you cussing like that? Where's your mom? Come on. Come on. No, sir, no, sir. No. Come on, where's your mom at? I took that assumptive role in their life. You understand what I'm saying? But most of us feel like you said, these young folk ain't gonna listen.
But you know the problem with it is you was fortunate enough to deal with a mama that they were scared of. Okay? I'm gonna say that again.
Okay.
You was fortunate enough to deal with a child who was scared of his mama.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it one more time. You was fortunate enough to deal with a child who was scared of his mama. So basically what I'm saying is, a lot of you young boys you walk up to and tell them that, you gonna tell their mama, she gonna cuss you out talking to her son like that.
And you know what? But ironically, I've been gifted enough to either choose my battles wisely, because I've never been cussed out, Either I've chosen my battles wisely, or I've just been anointed enough to handle it.
Well, you picked it right too.
It's been one of those too, because I go to my daughter's football games up in Cobb County, and I walk around all the kids. If I hear them cussing, stop all that cussing. Stop. One little boy looked at me like he gonna jump him. I said, what you gonna do? And I got in his little face, and I said, you know my son? He said, who? I said, Trey Kirk. Oh, yeah, Trey. Mr. Kirk, I'm sorry. I said, no. I said, you don't realize Mr. Kirk would have snatched a knot in your ass.
Yeah,
Oh,
again.
so I almost said it in my bad.
Now you good, but one more thing about it. Like I said, you fortunate because these kids you just can't run up on all.
No, you can't run up on all of them. You got to choose your battles wisely. And now notice what I did with the 5 when I saw the 5 boys. I didn't talk to them all 5 together.
Yeah.
I isolated them. I said, come on, let me holler at you right quick. And then I took him out of his environment.
But you're right, because like when I drive buses, man, I deal with a certain area on my route. And I catch some young ones, and I talk to them like, look, nephew, come on, nephew. I don't talk at them. I don't scream at them. Nephew, come on, man. You got grandma back there. You got auntie back there, man. Come on. Oh, my bad, Unc.
A lot of them don't know no better.
Yeah.
You can't fault somebody for what they don't know.
So my disappointment for that particular scenario is the parents. Like, a lot of these mothers or daddies don't, and I ain't got no perfect kids. So I'm lone. I can't speak. All my boys ain't perfect.
I got you.
So they got just as many flaws as somebody else's child. So I'm not saying that. But in my presence, they're not gonna say what they're gonna say.
And that's respect.
But but I can't control the fact that, but I would want somebody to put them in line. You know what I'm saying? But these people, well, my point is, we are afraid because we don't know between the social media, between the rap game now, between their mentality, half these little kids packing more than what we carrying.
Exactly. But I'm gonna tell you, even with the ones packing, and I'll say this unashamedly, unapologetically, and I believe it with all of my heart. I still believe that subordinates, meaning younger children, are going to always recognize leadership.
Yeah.
So if I walk like a man and I don't disrespect them, there's a difference.
Correct.
When you disrespect them, because a lot of them
trying to show them up.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give you a perfect example. Mackenzie, that's my baby, the one you met one time.
The one still in school.
Yeah, the one still in school. One time I took her to work with me. She's about 3 or 4 years old. All right. And I had a shoe shine stand. Can you believe I used to shine shoes?
Yeah.
Well, I used to shine shoes.
They go together. Car salesman, preacher, shoe shine.
But that was a long time ago. Bro, I used to make about $800 a week shining shoes.
All go together.
I used to make about $800 to $1,000 a week shining shoes. But I'm telling you, my time is valuable.
All right.
But Mackenzie went to work with me today, and this older white gentleman named Kent, I think Kent Brown, whatever his name was. But when Kent walked up to her, I'm gonna do this like this. He walked up to her, got down on one knee, face to face, took her hand, and said, "Hi, Mackenzie. My name is Kent. How are you?" Now, how would you agree to my daughter? What's up, little lady? You've been standing up, patting on top of it. Not you. I'm speaking in general. Though.
No, I mean, I probably would have.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have got on my knees.
You wouldn't have got on your knees.
Nah.
But when I saw him do that, what he did was he got down on her level. First on her level, and then because what you do is it's easy to build somebody when you're on their level and take them up.
Yeah.
It's hard to bring them up to where you are, especially if you have a top-down mentality. Especially when we as Negroes love to walk with that mentality. I got mine, so you got to get yours. Well, Negro, what you got?
You know what, though? I'm sorry to say this, man. I'm bad then, because right now with my granddaughters, if a cat come on, get on the knee and grab my granddaughter's hand, I may not react the same way you did.
Well, the thing is that I was there.
I don't get. I mean, I
number
can be
two,
there all day long.
And number two, I knew him.
Well,
he didn't grab a hand and.
I'm just saying, if I'm in the store right now, my granddaughter and the cat walk up, get on the knee.
No, he wasn't a stranger. Now that's different. If it was a stranger, I'd have knocked him. I probably would have hit him in his temple.
Okay, somebody.
But this ain't a stranger. I've been shining this dude's shoes for 6 months before
I got
then.
you.
You see what I'm saying? But when he came in, the point. That's the point. That's the
I got you.
point.
I got you.
What I'm saying?
It makes sense.
Yes, that's the.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, for instance, before we cut the show, I got a partner of mine named Jimmy. That got a barbershop, and I know we off the subject of disappointment, but he every time his daughter at a young age wanted something in the barbershop, he'll run to the vending machine and run back and give it to her. If she wants some drink, he'll run full speed and run back. So we're like, what is this dude doing? And he told us, prime example is that if I treat my daughter like this, when she wants something, she wouldn't expect nothing less from another man.
Yeah.
So off the subject a little bit, but I want to tell you about that part.
But that's a good point, and there's some pros and cons to that behavior.
Yeah, because then she may not find nothing like that.
Exactly.
Ain't nobody going on
exactly. But it's definitely some pros and cons. But the thing is, the main point is that in order, it's hard to raise a child that you don't love. It's hard to raise a child you don't understand.
Ooh.
It's hard to, and if you don't understand or love that child
Ooh.
and not willing to get on the level with that child,
That was a deep one.
it's
there.
hard to beat somebody down and build them up.
You
at the
said
same
it's
time.
hard to raise a child you don't love.
And when you don't understand,
That's a whole nother show. Bro.
yeah. But the point is, you can't beat them down while you're building them up. Not all of them, because this is a different society we live in.
That's one of my blessings.
That's a society we live in now. It's totally different than the one we did. Tough love was cool for us.
Yeah.
But some of them wasn't raised like
But you got to pick up that. That's one thing.
pick it out.
One thing about me, man. I can toot my own horn on this, and I go to the grave with it. With my boys, I coach. I can tear their butt up when I got to, but they'll never leave me that year without me building them back up.
Exactly. And your boys are 11.
Well, this year I've been going for a minute, little league. But when I was coaching at age and younger, I know how. I have the gift to know if they got it in them, I'm gonna get it out of them.
But this is the thing here, and I think a lot of this creativity has to kick in, because you don't coach a 7-year-old like you coach a 13-year-old.
You don't.
Yeah, and that's the mistake a lot of us do.
You don't.
You know what I mean? Like my son used to play baseball with an all-black organization, and they would holler at him so much, man. I told the coach at one point, I said, if he holler at you one more time, he don't play for you no more.
Well, you won't be playing for me. You won't be dealing with me then.
When, at what age?
No, not on 7-year-old.
Yeah, he was 10 at that point. You know what I'm saying? They would just learn how to hit a changeup. But at 15 or 16, you can say what you want to him.
You treat him accordingly.
Yeah, in fact, I would just drop him off at practice.
Yeah.
At that point, you know what I'm saying? Because he's
accordingly.
yours. But not when he's young. Don't break him before he's been built.
All right. Well, to touch up the last segment of this, man, dealing with disappointment. I'm glad we had the conversation, because
Me too, man.
I'm not saying you changed me in 10 minutes, but I hear what you're saying.
Man, I'm the mind. They call me.
You the mind massager.
I'm the mind massager.
I give you that.
And my thought is just to make you. My process is to make you think.
But you're right, because before talking to you, I have got to that point, because again, health issues, other issues. I just kind of like, instead of entertaining it, I'm expecting it. Like when somebody say, let me whatever, I'm expecting you gonna be late.
Exactly.
I'm expecting you not gonna do it. I'm already expecting. It's sad to feel that way, but it's still a hard pill to swallow.
But bro, look at your relationship with the guy you're working with now. You know what I'm saying? And how you got your own nonprofit just from hanging around him. But just being faithful and doing what you said you was gonna do has given you a 180-degree turn in a short amount of time. Yeah. And now you got accounts. You set up a nonprofit. You can start receiving money. Tax. People can make it tax deductible, but loyalty. It started with loyalty, right? And loyalty was the foundation that everything else can be built from. You hear me say this all the time. Your stress level goes down the more your middle finger goes up.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? I never thought, talking about disappointment. Growing up, I was never one to see my uncles, my pop, my dude, I call my dad. I call my dad Alfred. I never was seen a man pull out paperwork with signatures. My point is, it was always my word, my handshake was all
that should be enough.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm disappointed in the life we live.
We live in this world.
I got to literally put you on paper. I literally got a screenshot of text message. I literally got to have a witness,
bro, it's
because that's my biggest. No lie to you, that's my biggest disappointment.
I get it,
now.
But bro, you got to understand, and this is what you got, and this will help you. I'm telling you, culturally, where you come, you're Cuban, black
Cuban.
You're Cuban. I'm black, right?
I'm black too.
Yeah. So but our culture comes from Eastern culture,
correct,
right? So the farther east you go in culture, it's the communal culture, and as a communal culture, that means our word was enough, because the community was. But the more you move western, you get amongst our white brothers and sisters, and we get into this. I'm not saying it's white.
Okay.
I'm going a step further.
Go ahead.
But we get into this egalitarian culture, and in egalitarian culture, it's no longer communal, but it's individual.
Okay.
So it's more about what I can get as opposed to what we can get. Does that make sense?
I mean,
and so when I'm worried about what I can get as opposed to what we can get, then I'm not as much concerned about your vision as much as I am my vision, unless I really got your heart. You see what I'm saying? That's why we used to use the term, I got to release, when I release my heart on a person, that's when they really understand my passion, or they really understand my vision. Because then when I write the vision and make it plain, they'll run with it. But if they ain't got my back, if they're not communal in thought, if they're individual in thought, when they get away from me, they ain't thinking about me no more. When I leave here and me and you're apart, and you know I haven't gotten my flash drive, if I haven't talked to you in enough time, you're gonna call me and say, Jay, what time you coming by to pick it up? because you know what I'm trying to do with my vision, right?
Correct.
Likewise, I know what you got going on, but most people ain't concerned about what the next man is
Yeah,
doing.
I get you, but what I'm saying again, I never thought we'll come to the point where, again, like you said, your surroundings is what
It's gonna
define
get
you.
worse than it gets better.
So what I'm saying to you, I do got some that I know, like my homeboy Eddie P. If Eddie P say Disco, I'm gonna call you tomorrow at 12.
He gonna call you at 12.
He call me at 12.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't call me at 12, something wrong. My brother BJ, he may say, bro, I'm busy, but I'm gonna call you back. So I got people, you know, in my circle that's gonna, but I got so many people that I just, oh my God. I just never thought that you got to put somebody on paper for everything now in 2021.
Okay, well, tell you what then. Don't put them on paper.
No.
Don't put them on paper and keep being disappointed.
Yeah.
Let's do it that way.
But even on paper, let me tell you something about that though. No, let me tell you something about that part. Now, so to the point where they know the paperwork. Okay, if it's gonna cost something like $500 for the business encounter, now they know. Okay, you know what? Disco ain't going to court because it's gonna cost more to file, to see a judge, to get my. You know what I'm saying? So like now they getting hit to that.
Yeah.
So, but hey,
what's gonna happen though, bro? A team gonna come together for you, man.
No, I'm not. This ain't no. Me worrying about my future.
I got you.
Who I am.
You just want to know how to better deal with disappointment.
It's just dealing with disappointment that I had to put myself in a situation again. If I'm not gonna change that cat how he was raised, just leave him alone.
Yeah.
If I know we not built the same, leave him alone. Like I had an encounter at a spot. I know Buddy don't like me. I know you don't like me.
Mm-hmm.
So why are we gonna do this? What's up, Disco? We ain't even doing that. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Cause I'm not gonna get. I'm not giving folks that 1% of me no more. It's like it's straight. Don't even. It's better that way. So I'm to the point now, like you said, a crab is a crab, a coward is a coward. You know, if you show me your hand, it's on me to play with you or not.
Yeah.
Period.
I'm not gonna. At the end of the day, I'm not letting nobody bring me no stress.
So get him the final thoughts, man. And I love the show, man. I would love to do the recaps because all your titles be straight, man. I just try to give you respect because people know I'm a little shy. Nah, people know I'm gonna talk.
Shy.
Yeah, so I don't like to take over your shows, but I like what you're doing, man. And again, we do recap whenever you want to.
Man, but my final thoughts, though, man, you know what I'm trying to do. Disco. I'm trying to help better our community, and I'm trying to help us think a different way. And if we can, because if we can think our way through anything, we can think our way out of everything. And that's just all it is, man. It's just got to learn how to be a critical thinker. But I always ask a question: the world is changing. Why do you remain the same? Let's get on the path to better and let's do better. How about it?
Who was Audrey Johnson?